Well, of course, we had to save the best for last. I hope you've been enjoying this. I'll see you in about a week and a half. Um, yeah, we gotta say the best for last, though. Resurrection. Of course. It's like Christianity. It's kind of our thing, right? Resurrection of Jesus Christ. I always think that's interesting, too. You have all these stories of the resurrection. Why? People say, oh, the disciples made it up. Why? What good will it do them? In fact, in their faith in Jesus and believing in the resurrection, most of them die terrible deaths. They're not going to make money off this. They're not going to have this lap of luxury. Rather, the contrary, what Jesus always told them life would be like. It's going to be hard. It's serving. It's on the run. You're going to be persecuted. It says that the disciples made it up to trap people. That makes no sense. The church was a persecuted entity from the very beginning. Not until many, many, many generations, well, many, many years later, that changed. There are parts of the world today that are persecuted for being Christian. I don't think they're making it up. Anyway, is resurrection possible? Well, we know. It's been well documented. People have died and come back from the dead, even in our modern times. The lead singer of Motley Crue died twice, for goodness sake. Great song, by the way, by 6 a.m. about having died twice. I love that. As if the first message, dying once wasn't scary enough. It's the second time they got through. Anyway, you're all different. Of course, resurrection is possible. The sea bears, they can die and resurrect themselves, depending on the elements, the pressure, the water. Yeah, it's possible. We don't know how, but it's possible. And it's not like this was a surprise. The resurrection was foretold for generations. It wasn't just pulled out of thin air. Surprise! No. I made this clear. I mean, I see resurrection as a fundamental force of God. We are resurrected in a new life when we live out our faith, when we come into Christ, right? The seasons, right? Life is resurrected in spring. I know they don't die, but the image of it. I think that we can get caught up in what's possible instead believing in a God that makes things possible. We talked all week if it's a God that healed, a God that created, a God that defies probability over and over again. Yeah. I think God is real and these things are most definitely possible with God. In fact, most people, I don't want to talk about this, most people believe God's real. Now, what we believe about that real God can differ quite a bit. Most people agree it is more likely that God is real. It's now our time to show the world what God can do. That when things that seemed impossible or improbable come to pass with God, and we feel God's presence, it is our job to tell that story. That's all Hamilton musical. I won't ruin the whole thing. Well, if you know history, you know what happens. But this ending line of who will tell your story when you're gone. Christians get to tell God's story. Not that God's gone, but we have the ability to tell the story of the one who defies the odds, who does the impossible, who did rise from the dead. It's a gift we get to tell a story. I love to tell the story, right? So do it. I look forward to hearing your stories when I return from vacation. See you in a little bit.